Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, it's Soulfax here, and you're watching me attempt to play Starcraft 2, and this is, if I believe I'm correct, the 7th episode of Road to Pro, a series in which I play games, a few games in between each episode, and then I show you my progress and my thought process through the games. The games that I will be showing you and I have been showing you are not all wins. That is one thing to keep in mind. Let's start this by introducing my opponent here. His name is SK2 and I. He's playing in the red trunks and playing in the down part of the map, and left hand side corner of the map, playing the Protos race. Now let's start this game by saying that I had a very specific build for this matchup. Well, it's not built for this matchup, but look at this. What a poor splitting of drones here. Very bad for me. What was I saying? I had a very specific build up to a single drone, a single SCV, excuse me, that I was going for in this match. The problem was that this build was actually optimized for the Zerg. I did it like one game ago, so 20 minutes before I played this game, I played a game against a Zerg player, which I executed that build perfectly, like I mean really perfectly, up to a SCV, and I managed to defeat him without much problem here. Now, I love this map. I love Cloud King. Cloud King is such a great map because this natural here is so enclosed. You can very easily defend it here, and the turret is also so enclosed here. But the problem is you can flank from this side here, which is not such a good thing if you're playing against high-level players like, I don't know, Diamond or Masters League players. They can really easily take advantage of your bad positioning here if you do not put a bunker down here or cannon or something along those lines, and really exploit that your turret base position is very far from your other bases, but you can still put some tanks up here, so that's not a big problem. Now, I was going for, like I said, a very specific build here, so which was 10 supply depot and 12 barracks. As you can see, I executed that, and my scout is going down immediately after supply depot, while my opponent is going for gateway first, which is not a very unusual build to play against a Terran player, and he hit it spot on. If he was going for Forge Expand first, or for Nexus first, he would be in such a big trouble, because I was going for early aggression here. You will see just in a moment what I think about that. Now, this little scout is going in here, and I see that gateway first, so I was like, he's gonna have some zealots out on the field. He's not gonna have a stalker out on the field yet. He's not gonna have it, so he's gonna probably have some zealots. So what my build was actually to go was Reactor Hellion, and I started executing that by taking a refinery at 13 here, and now my barracks is done. And now, if I am correct, after this probe is done, I mean this SCV is done, the orbital command update should get on the way. But you see, I'm not such a good player. I really mess it up. Now the second supply depot is going down to support this. As you can see, I'm almost supply blocked while he is supply blocked. And now the orbital command upgrade goes up right on plan, so it's supposed to be supply depot before orbital command, 2 marines to pop out to defend against any type of aggression. And now he is going for Nexus here, gateway expand into Nexus here, and also throwing down a pylon. He has only one zealot at this point of time, but I have a guy here, an SCV here, brave SCV, defending the front line, seeing if my opponent might go for any sort of early aggression. And now is where it gets tricky. The orbital command upgrade is finished, and now the factory goes down. At the same time as the factory goes down, the reactor in this barrack should go down, so when the factory is finished, so I can exchange it, I can do a switch up and go for reactor Hellion very early. Which, what I love about this build, what everybody loves about this build, you're just 2 switches away from going for reactor Hellion to siege tank marine. After this is done, and after I do the switch to reactor Hellion, this barracks goes down anywhere in the base actually, and goes down with a tech lab on it and researching stim immediately. So you're really only 2 switches away from making a making a marine siege tank push here. Now this Nexus will be finished, and he's not making so many units. He's warping out a few zealots here, which is not very common for other players. If he were a little bit better player, he would not warp out so many units. And now this is where it got wrong. Now immediately after the switch, I should have gone for an expansion here, and what I did was not even close to this. I don't like this build actually, don't like it very much, because of the issue that you get a lot of minerals floating around. You get a lot of minerals from that little pro production here. As you can see, I'm nice and saturated at this space, just a few more SCVs away from being fully saturated here. And now I go for the expansion, but the problem is it didn't lower the supply depot. It did delay my expansion just for a few seconds here. It's not such a big of an issue. 2 first aliens are going now, so that's not going to be such a big of an issue. And I decided if I get blocked, I'm going to go for 2 supply depots here, and that's exactly what I did. And I'm still not moving this guy down here, which is, it's kind of a problem, but it's not such a big of a problem. But what I did was I wasn't consistent with my SCV production late in the game. Now, as you know, when you're playing with Protoss, you need a lot of SCVs. I mean, when you're playing Terran, you need a lot of SCVs. And the problem when you're playing Terran is that some newer players like me tend not to shift click back your SCVs to your minerals. So that's a little bit of a problem. What I'm trying to correct now. As you can see, I have some minerals floating and a lot of gas actually. And now I'm going for that reactor Hellion here, going to try to get some damage here. And now if this was a better play, he never, I mean really never would have warped in so many zealots here, and this was a real issue for me. I was very stupid. I could have easily kited all of those zealots out of his base and killed them one by one, but the problem was I was not doing that. Now I have 2 more Hellions here. It's a build where you usually go with 4 to 6 Hellions, and then after you see V-Zerg, after you see a Roach or a Spire go down, or a Roach being completed, you immediately cut Hellion production. As you can see, I'm following the build. I'm going for that stim on that barracks here and queuing up a few more workers. But as you can see, I have a lot of minerals here, so I decided to go for 2 more barracks here. It's not gonna sink all of my minerals out, but it's gonna use up some of them. And now again, I advanced with 4 Hellions this time. Now he's just a little bit better positioned here. I think that I managed to take out just a few probes here by sacrificing a Hellion or 2. And he has some slow reactions here. I was actually expecting Stalkers here and not Zealots being here, and now I was like, oh, 4 gates, he's got already 4 gates, he's not working on macro whatsoever, he's going for, I mean, a big push, and there's a Twilight Council, and I was like, oh, god damn it. And now this was really stupid from me. I sacrificed all of those Hellions for what? For 5 probe kills? That is so stupid. That is really stupid. I mean, the intent of build is to do some harassment against Zerg, and the problem with using this build against anything, against any other race except Zerg, is that you get Stalkers out and you get Zealots out if you're playing against Protoss, and even if you don't get them out as soon as you get into the mineral line, you get them just a few seconds later, and you can only do just a limited amount of damage before you get taken out. And the other problem is that I'm very bad at micro. I mean, you saw that I microed that very stupidly, and I got all of my Hellions killed for 5 probes, and that is not a cost-efficient exchange. Now, in the meantime, I'm going for, I finished the orbital command upgrade here, and what I should actually done is I have a lot of minerals here. I really have a lot of minerals. 1,000 minerals here to 300 gas. I haven't gone for my second gas here, which is a very stupid idea. I should have gotten 4 gases already here, because, well, yeah, I was going for a lot of medevacs here. The first tarp are going down here on the right side, as well as charge for my opponent here, so he's going for that Zealot Stalker combination early on with a few sentries here and there. I should have actually expanded to the turret base here. The same time that I stopped attacking with Hellions, I should have expanded here. And now I move out just a few units up in here. Those units are not upgraded, and that's another big issue with me. I forgot to put down those engineering bay, and now they go down, and you'll see where I think that I did the most crucial mistake of the whole match. I finally started working on combat shields and concussion shells. Concussion shells will be done as soon as I attack here, because, well, concussion shells are a very quick upgrade, even though they're not very useful against the mobile Stalkers. They're more useful against Zealots. Now I move in without waiting for the combat shield to upgrade, of course. I was looking forward to go to the turret base to see if he expanded, and now he goes to expand, and this is very bad. I engaged this force here without any real reason to. I mean, it was very stupid. His Zealot charge finished just right now, and he was able to do a lot of damage here. I mean, as you can see, I think I actually cleaned up this force. I kite these 2 Zealots out. That was a miss micro from him. He left a lot of those sentries out in the open and decided to stim in and take them. And I mean, yeah, this was very bad. Look at this. This is the extent of my macro skills. This Marauder is fighting this Zealot, and I was like, no, run away. Now, in the meantime, as you can see, those 2 are down. the double engineering base are down and made, and what do? Nothing. I didn't go for the upgrades. I totally forgot about this. Look at this, how many minerals I have. I could expand it like 6 times around the whole base, and I didn't. Oh my god, I hate when that happens. I extremely hate when that happens. I have only 4 barracks. I could have made 3 starports, like 7 factories, everything with the amount of minerals that I had. And why didn't I do that? Because I was stupid, because I wasn't thinking. I was thinking about attacking. I actually never checked if he has a third base until his third base was fully saturated around the end of the game here. As you can see, I'm still not researching anything from those engineering base, which is a big problem, because I was counting on that 1-1 to have advantage where his opponents don't have upgrades, and I know that he doesn't have upgrades, and I haven't seen a forge anywhere when I got in his base. And I again advanced here, which was a stupid idea, which was a very stupid idea, because I could have defeated him. I could have kited him out, but he used a nice little force field here, even though that was badly placed to stop me from advancing here. A few stalkers get caught out of position, and I could have actually advanced in here to defeat him, to take out those sentries here, but I decided to fall back and wait for Medevacs to get in. And now he's building those stalkers here again and again. He's building those stalkers, and only now he's got his base up for around 3 minutes now, and I've only started producing my third command center here, which is a very big mistake for me, because you always want to be either around the same time as your opponent has his third base or ahead of him. Not being late as a Terran player is very bad, because Terran players' production rises around the time when he gets third base, when you can afford to get 4 or 5 barracks down and then continue that marine medevac marauder production that I was going for here. As you can see, my initial build went very wrong here. I got a few medevacs on the field, and I was thinking about moving them up to support my marines and medevacs, to marines and marauders here. And as you can see, his force isn't big here. I could have broke through that easily if I got into the third base, and I actually attacked here, got a few probes here, and positioned myself nicely around here. But I wasn't thinking about this. Like I said in the beginning of this video, I have an extreme case of ladder anxiety. I mean, I get so nervous when I'm playing ladder, extremely nervous. My hands started shaking, my whole head is like in clouds. I stopped thinking about anything except micro. That is my biggest issue. As you can see, I'm building 4 supply depots at a time because I'm supply blocked. I'm always supply blocked, and my opponent is like, look, he's got so many workers. He's got 81 workers. What is wrong with him? What is wrong with him? And that is another error that I did. I didn't build enough workers, but as you can see, that's not a big problem, because I have a lot of minerals saved up here. Because of my bad macro skills, I didn't produce enough units here to support that big mineral count, and only now he puts down a forge, and only now, that was like 5 minutes after I planted those 2 engineering base down, I go for 1-1, and then I decide to advance, I think somewhere around now, if I remember correctly, because I didn't watch the replay. I watched the replay just a little bit, and now he blinks into my huge army here. I overstim, actually. I shouldn't have stimmed so much. He takes down my medevacs immediately, but I cleaned this up. I mean, I target fire and I clean this up very easily, because those marauders are very strong against those stalkers here. If you had a few marines here, I mean, he could have done something, but nice little force field here to split up my units. 4 stalkers remain here with almost no shields. He immediately moved back those sentries here, but look at this. How many units do I have on the field? None units. And he warped in such a big army here for such a, well, it's a mid-game, at least mid-game, and now he decides to move up. It's a good idea to move up, actually, because I really sucked at this. Upon putting my third base down, I did what was needed, put down 5 more barracks here. I get 2 starports, not doing anything, producing only 1 at a time, because guess what? Guess who doesn't have minerals? Me, because I didn't put any gas, because I didn't put down refineries on my the second and third base. Why? Because I'm stupid. Look at this. There's 3 here. There's only 1 here. There's nobody here. Now I do a little bit of transfer here, because this whole mineral patch is almost finished. Not a lot of SCVs probing around, going around and getting expanded, but he's planning out 10 cannons here. I mean, 10 cannons. He said like, oh man, I got a lot of minerals, let's put down some cannons. And why not? I didn't think about that. I actually never put down a bunker here or here, because I was like, what can he do? I thought for the whole time in the game, I thought that I was in an advantage. And here I move out with a nice little force here. 1-1 is finished, and 2-2, where's 2-2? It's not on the way. Why? Because Number one, I didn't put down an armory. Number two, I totally forgot about it. And that's the big problem. I am okay at mid games. I'm okay if I get my timings right, if I get the upgrades at the right time. And if I play a build that I actually done before, and I play a build against a specific race and not just try to adjust the build from Zerg to Protoss, I mean, that's very stupid. And when I get my upgrades timing right, and now here, I move out, I see this big army here, and I was, no, my medivacs, shit, yes. And I think I lost this game. It wasn't as much as his skill as much as it was my fault. And here I tried to flank here with just a few units, and I actually managed to clean this up because of his bad positioning. He blinks in, but I have a nice concave here, and I was target firing his units for most of the time. Now here, I decide to move in. And what do I do? Nothing. What can I do? He's got like 10 fucking cannons everywhere. Cannons everywhere. It never crossed my mind to go around here and try to do this or to get a drop in his main base, because what does he have in his main base? Has like a lot of gates here, but he has nothing to defend in his main base. That was so stupid. I tried to poke in here, lose a few units. Nice force field from him to prevent me from getting in, but he again left this open here. He should have actually put down any force field to spend them, because I can't get through here. That's too many tanks. And now I try to go to the third base. Only now I thought about the possibility of my opponent having a third base, because I was like, oh, this guy sucks. This guy's in Bronze League. Guess what? I'm in Bronze League too. This is very, very annoying. And now that army goes down, and I can start 2-2 in just a few seconds. But again, what is happening with me? I don't have enough gas. Why don't I have enough gas? Because I haven't built anything here. I mean, look at this. Ooh, he's built 100 workers. This guy has 100 workers. Look at this third base. It's not that it's oversaturated. It's heavily oversaturated. Look at this. 3, 4, 5 lines of probes here, and now we engage in the middle here. Again, I don't have a single medevac here. They arrive while it's too late, and he just takes me out. There's no actually. I messed up. I really messed up. My macro is so bad. This third went down so late. Fourth should have been down like 5 minutes ago. I should have made more starports. I should have gotten those refineries so early. As soon as I take the base, that is one thing that I need to think about, taking the refineries as soon as I take the base, as soon as I get the base heavily saturated. Yes, I messed up completely here. Look at my keys here. 9 barracks, 4 barracks, 5 factory, and 6 starports. Only 2 starports. It's not so bad. I mean, it's not so bad. 2 starports are okay. You can produce 4 medevacs at a time. But the problem is, look at this. I don't have enough gas here. And at this point in time, what am I producing? Marines, and Marauders. That is it. I'm not producing any medevacs, and I know I need medevacs, but I totally forgot about it, which is a big problem with me. I forgot about things. I really forget about things, and now around this time my 4th base should be going down. Yes, there's the 4th base, but the problem is it's like 23 minutes into the game. This 4th base should have been down 5 minutes ago. That is very stupid from me. That is extremely stupid from me. And the 3rd base is not even nicely saturated. Look at this. There's not a lot, and there's not enough SCVs here. 3, 4, 5 are missing here. This main base here has SCVs all over the place that are not doing anything. I mean, there's one even behind there. This natural here is almost mined out, and there's not enough SCVs here, even if you count the ones in gas. And look at this big army of him. He's got so many units here. Even though they're OO, they don't have any type of upgrades here. Only ground armor level 1 is going down. And I have 1-1, 2-2 on the way. 2-2 should be finished sometime soon here. But still, I was thinking about going for a drop here, because he definitely moved out. That was my thing. He definitely moved out. There's no way for me to defend against this. And I would try to go in. Nice blink from him coming in between my units here. I knew that I can't defend against this. I stem in, try to do some damage, try to eliminate his troops so I can produce more of mine. I immediately start making more Marauders here, which I should have done, but the problem is I lose this medevacs, and again I haven't been making a lot of medevacs. He blinks out of those medevacs. Nice blink actually from him. I stem in to try to keep him back here because he can't pass a lot of units here. That's a nice choke point for me to fight on, and now he goes for the 3rd base. I knew that I repelled him for the time being, and I knew that he's gonna send at least some units to the 3rd base, because at the moment those units need to be doing something except destroying this rock here. And I'm still trying to produce more and more units. I actually accidentally suicide 1 Marauder here. And look at this, I'm still short on gas. I have 2,000 minerals banked up. I'm trying to produce as many units as I can. Ground level, upgrade infantry armor 2 is not even researching it now. I knew he goes for the third base. I scanned here to see if he's gonna go. He tries to avoid the scan, which is, well, okay. He tried to avoid a scan, and the fourth base goes down. I didn't even contest that because what can I do at this point in time? I can't do absolutely anything. God damn it. And now here's where I messed up. I actually pulled some of my units back. I could have defeated this force. I could have got it. Because look at I have so many Marauders here. Could have got it. I have more here. And I messed it up. I messed it up completely. This is what happens to me. Also happens to me. I get so stressed out when I'm playing that I forgot to do stuff. And now here I tried to rescue this third base. I kind of knew it's gonna go down, but I was content with defeat at this point of time. Try to move back those Marines here, those SCVs here, and I accidentally pulled all of my units, spreading them out. He attacked at the front also. Now I was like, huh, fuck. Nice game, dude. But it was a nice game. I mean, his economy was very, very messed up. He didn't play well or anything, and it's not that he defeated me, I defeated myself with big errors like not putting down refineries. I mean, this refinery has been working for so long that it's got mined out. This refinery hasn't been working. It's got 2,000 gas still, and this have, oh, I'm so stupid. Why am I so stupid? I don't know. Look at these refineries. They're barely touched. I mean, my upgrades weren't going down, my third base was late, my production was okay, my production was really okay, but the problem I had was, well, it wasn't much of a problem as I forgot to make more units. I forgot that I have like 9 barracks. I never actually had 9 barracks in a single match, and I forgot that I can make so many units with 9 barracks. I should have actually just spammed the D and A button for Marines and Marauders. I should have made more medevacs here, but again, I gas blocked myself unintentionally, but I did it nevertheless. My opponent he's been mining so much at this tier base that he almost got it mined out. Natural and main are completely mined out, and I need to start dropping. That's a big problem with me. I really need to start dropping at my opponent's bases. I never do that. I consider medevacs to be too important to waste them on dropping, and I don't have such a great micro as you might imagine, and I usually mess it up. I send my medevac down here, down here, let's say, and then I run into few tanks, I mean not tanks, cannons here, and then my medevac goes boom because I underreact. I don't get there fast enough. Yeah, this was a huge disappointment. I was really looking forward to a great match. This was a great match from him and me. Some okay plays from me, some, well, totally average plays from him, but well, at the end of the day, I'm in bronze, and I really don't care about my placement, but I still need to work on my macro issue. I really need to time my expansions right and get my production up to speed, as well as my upgrades. So, yeah, hope you enjoyed this episode of Road to Pro. Till next time, guys, keep it steady and carry on.